Today I'm going to be sharing all of the elective courses and extracurricular activities that we will be doing here in our homeschool for the 2025-2026 school year. Hi everyone, welcome to our homeschool table. My name is Jerilyn. I am a homeschool mom of 3 kids, ages 10, 4, and 1. And this coming school year will actually be our 7th year homeschooling. I can't even believe it. It's been 7 years already, but it is. And so I'm really excited to share with you what we're going to be doing. This video is the 4th part of a series that I've been doing here on my channel, sharing all about our curriculum picks by subject. So the first week we did our math curriculum. The second week was language arts. The third week was history, geography, and science. And then this week is electives and extracurriculars. Now, I do want to mention that this video is part of a collaboration group with other homeschool moms sharing about their curriculum picks as well for each of those areas. This collaboration is hosted by Davene from Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shawna from Homegrown Homeschool. So I will leave links down below in the description box to their channels along with a collaboration playlist for today's videos. I will also leave down below a playlist where you can see all of the other curriculum picks that I just talked about for this coming school year that I have posted here on my channel. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to jump right into kind of our enrichment topics first. So in the last couple of years, we have been doing some nature study, poetry, artist and composer study, and hymn study. So I'm going to share about those first. Now, in the last few years, we have been using for nature study the Christian Liberty Nature Readers, which we really, really like. This year, my daughter is finishing book 4, and I would have just gone on to book 5. However, all of the things that she'd be learning about in book 5 are exactly what she learned about in science this last year doing Apologia Zoology 2. So I went ahead and asked her if she would be okay with doing something a little bit different this year, and she agreed that she didn't really want to learn the same thing all over again. So instead, I have the Burgess books here, and so this is the Burgess Seashore book, the Burgess Bird book, and the Animal book. And 2 of these have 40 chapters, the other one has 45. And so I'm going to go ahead and let her pick which one she wants to start with in the fall, but she will work on this 2 days a week, which will make one of these books about 20 weeks long, and then she'll just choose another book and go from there. After she reads a chapter in the book, she will do a short written narration, about a paragraph or so is what I normally ask her to do, and she will tell me about what she read in her narration. Then the next thing that I wanted to talk about is artist study. Now, I have been following over the last 2 years the Ambleside Online schedule for artists. However, this year, with the artists that are recommended, they weren't really ones that really stood out to me as ones that I wanted to teach about. And so instead, what I'm going to be doing is using the notebookingpages.com artist studies. They have some printables that you can print out, and I actually have a lifetime membership to the notebookingpages.com website. I'm also an affiliate with them, so if you're interested in checking out that resource, I will link it for you down below in the description box. But when you have a membership, you can actually print out the art prints for several different artists. I think there's like 20 different options of artists that you can choose from, and they're all a lot more well known. So I decided that I'm going to let my daughter pick kind of right before the school year starts, and that's what we will do for artist study next year. We will most likely do one artist for 12 weeks and then move on to another one. I really like to go to the library and get some books about each artist, and so I figured that if I did artists that were a little bit more well known, that the library would actually have books to pull from. So that's what we're going to be doing for artist study. I'm going to do it a little bit more low-key this coming year, and mostly I'm just going to have the art displayed here in our homeschool space. So we will talk about the artist and have different art prints posted up in and around our homeschool space. But we aren't going to be doing like a formal artist study. We just are going to kind of have them out and around as decoration and things like that. For composer study, we are going to be going to a music class again, like we did this last year. And each of the months, the music teacher focuses on a couple of different composers. She also talks about instruments and styles and time periods and things like that. So we are mostly just going to be doing our composer study through her class and the things that she's already talking about. Each month she gives an assignment sheet where she gives you different things to look up and listen to and things like that. So we're just going to kind of go that route. Now, this last year we used music study with the masters because I had picked these up at a local curriculum sale, and I'm going to that curriculum sale again in June. And so if I find some more either music studies like this or just music CDs of different composers, then I will probably go ahead and pick those up. I find it very helpful to have things like this to just pop in and listen to instead of having to look them up on the computer and go to the Ambleside website and all of that. So this year I decided we're going to be a lot less structured with our composer study. The next thing that I wanted to mention is poetry. The last 2 years we have been using the Ambleside online poetry anthologies, which we've really liked. We used volume 4 in 4th grade and volume 5 in 5th grade. And this coming year, because we already do Sunlight History Bible Literature, and in that program, one of the read alouds is specifically a poetry book that's scheduled usually twice a week. This coming year, we're just going to be doing that poetry book that is incorporated in our Sunlight program. The book that we're using this coming year is called All the Small Poems and 14 More by Valerie Worth. I'll put a picture of it up here. So like I said, we will probably be using that book 2 times a week or so, basically just whatever is scheduled in the Level F Instructor's Guide, which is for Eastern Hemisphere. So I'm really excited to kind of keep things a little bit more simple this year with poetry, even though it's not as Charlotte Mason-y as I would prefer. Sometimes we just don't have time to do every single thing that seems really good. And that's okay. We're just keeping it simple around here. The last thing in the enrichment category is our hymn study, and we currently have been using the Happy Hymnody website. I will link it down below for you. I'm not an affiliate or anything, but we use their free printables. They have song sheets and coloring pages that you can print out. They actually have a full bundle of being able to do the whole year at once if you go to her Etsy shop. And so basically what we do is we just listen to the hymn of the month on the Happy Hymnody YouTube channel, and we listen to it a couple of times a week at lunch or breakfast whenever we're all together at the same time at the table. So we will continue on doing our hymn study that way. We will probably not be doing a lot of the history of hymns and all of those things. I just really want my children to hear the hymns and to be familiar with the tunes and the lyrics and things like that. So that's what we'll be doing for hymn study. Okay, moving on to other electives. The next thing that I want to tell you about is Kids of Character by Character Concepts. So my daughter is using the Level 3 Kids of Character this year, and it has 45 character qualities in this book. So she is, well, as you can see here, about a third of the way through. I think she's done 15 or 16 of the character qualities so far, maybe a little bit more, maybe more like 20. But in this book, basically how it works is the student goes to the next character quality, like gentleness here, And it says a definition, a memory verse, and then there are some things to look up in the Bible and to answer. So she just writes right here in the book. And then there are a couple of pages of those questions. So she works on this throughout the week. She spaces it out herself. She just knows that by the end of the week, I'm going to check her book and make sure that she has done the assignments. The other thing that goes along with this is the Portraits of Integrity book. So this is a book about different people who have demonstrated godly character. And so there is a reading for each one of the qualities in the Bible study. So she reads this on Thursdays. So we're just going to keep going along with character from character concepts. And if she finishes this towards the middle to end of year, then we will go ahead and just purchase the next level after that. Okay, the next elective is typing. This current year we are on typing 1 from The Good and the Beautiful, and she is going to be around lesson 60. We only do it 2 times per week. So if she gets through 60 lessons this year, then we'll just pick up at lesson 61 in the fall. And then when she's finished with that, then we will do typing 2. And this one has about, 69. This has about 70 lessons total. So we will just continue working on typing 2 times a week throughout the rest of the school year. She really likes this program. So we will be working on typing 2 from The Good and the Beautiful. I also have level 3 if and when she finishes this program. Now, besides typing, I also like my daughter to practice cursive. And we did kind of take a break on this for a little while, but we are starting back with a little bit of cursive practice. So what we're doing right now is I just actually write on this little writing tablet. I've literally had this since she was in kindergarten and we still have paper. So I just write a word and then she copies it. She has to trace it first and then copy the word 2 times. So we use this once a week on Fridays. And then this coming year, now that my printer is finally here, I am going to be able to make copies of the cursive first reproducible pages. So I've actually had this since my daughter was in kindergarten, and we just haven't ever used it because the printer that I had didn't have a copy machine, and I didn't want her to just write on the papers. So I actually had been using Savas Publishers Danielian handwriting books, which I really like. And then when she learned cursive, she went into the cursive levels of that, I think in 2nd or 3rd grade, maybe 4th. But since I have these, I would like to use them. These are just printables of the different letters of the alphabet and numbers. So like you can see here, it's just a half sheet for a day of work. And so I'm just going to make a little booklet for her, a cursive booklet. And then she'll just do 1 of these per week, along with something like this where she has to practice words or sentences. So that's what we'll be doing for cursive. And like I said, that is only on Fridays, just 1 time a week. The next subject is health. And so this year we are going to be using 2 different resources for health. The first one is the Feelings book by American Girl. And this is the care and keeping of your emotions. And I don't know if you have any 10 or 11-year-old daughters at your house, but there are lots of emotions happening. So we are going to be talking about those, and we will probably do this together. I noticed on here that there are about 30 topics, and so I kind of think that we're going to work this into our morning basket time. And so it covers things like the brain, the body, and butterflies. How do you feel? The voice inside. Help. I'm feeling scared, anxious, jealous, angry, lonely. And then it ends with being positive. So I like that. So we will probably do this once a week during our morning basket. And then the next thing, these will be readings that she does on her own, but this is Developing Good Health by Abeka. This is actually the 4th grade curriculum, but they're very short little sections, and it's going to talk about your body's framework. It's going to talk about muscles and breathing. personal hygiene, your body's skin, grooming, and relationships. So I will probably make some sort of a little checklist for her to make sure that she is going through this at a speed that would be good. And she will just probably narrate to me what she read about after she reads whatever section she's going to do for that week. She'll probably just do this one day a week, which is what we do for most of our electives. Okay, last but not least, as far as curriculum goes, I am going to give the Prima Latina Christian Latin program a try. I actually got this from a friend of mine, I think last summer, and I wanted to try it, but we still haven't gotten around to it. So this program comes with a teacher's manual and a student book. And then it also has an instructional DVD set and a pronunciation guide, songs, and prayers CD. So this is actually geared towards grades, I believe it's in their second grade package, but it seems very adaptable to anyone. I actually thought about doing it just for myself, but I'm going to hopefully maybe start this a little bit in the summer to kind of get her interested in it. And then we will just do this one time per week. And then I think there's 25 lessons or so. Let's see. There's 25 lessons and then a review for every 5 lessons. So I think that equals about to 30 weeks worth of work. So we will be working on this, and I will probably just make copies of this on our new copy machine, one for her and one for me, and then I'll still have it for my little kids when they get up to this level. So this is kind of a possibility. It's not a definite thing, but I just wanted to share it with you in case we do actually get to using it. Okay, so now to talk about extracurricular activities. This is kind of the last part of the video. We will be going to the music class that I talked about earlier, one time per month, and that starts in October and goes through May. So that is a really fun class that we all get to go to as a family. Another extracurricular that my daughter participates in is Awana at a church near us. It's not the church that we regularly attend, but it's where we go to Awana. And that starts in September and goes through May. Last but not least, my daughter will be doing dance again. She has been going to a local dance studio about 20 minutes away from us for the last 6 years. She started in kindergarten there, and she was doing dance the year before that when she was 4 at a different studio. But she does ballet, jazz, and modern. That is something that she absolutely loves. It's not a competitive dance studio, so she doesn't do competitions. They just have a recital in June every year. But we really like it, and she has quite a talent for ballet especially. So, so she looks forward to doing dance. Okay, so that is everything for electives and extracurricular activities. I would love to know what you will be using next year for electives in your homeschool and what extracurricular activities that your kids do after school hours or during school. Well, one thing that I did want to mention is that my little guy will be able to start baseball next spring when he turns 5. So that is really exciting. We have a local homeschool baseball group, and so he will be able to start that next spring, which he is really excited about. He wishes that he could start tomorrow, but he will be doing that when he turns 5. If you are interested in the other videos that I have done in this curriculum series, go ahead and check out the description box below. I will link to the math curriculum picks, language arts, and then history, geography, and science. I will also make sure to leave a link to the collaboration playlist for today's video, which is electives and extracurriculars. So thank you to Davene from Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shawna from Homegrown Homeschool for hosting the collaboration today and for the last few weeks. It has been really fun to share and to watch all of the other moms' videos to see what they're going to be using in their homeschools. I will be sharing over the next couple of weeks some curriculum reviews and our summer plans for this coming year, and also several planning videos coming up for next year as well. So go ahead and make sure that you click the subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up and turn on your notification bell so that you know when I post a new video. I will also make sure to continue doing some curriculum update videos next year. This last year I was doing monthly videos, and I'm probably going to switch to maybe either every other month or quarterly video updates about how our curriculum is going. So definitely stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today at our homeschool table, and we'll see you next time.